Okay, I'm here, Joanna. I'm here.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna play some music,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, shoot, what happened? Crap. Okay. Let's see. I remember how to play music on here. I was doing it the other day. Such a bummer, man.
Yeah. Well, the problem is if you start playing music, it
On
sometimes
two.
it goes a bit weird sometimes. I noticed that,
Right.
but we've got lots to talk about, and I was talking to an insider earlier tonight. Now we've got lots of new information, which I'm going to talk about later, but in a short while. Um, this insider used to work for Facebook. And well, anyway, I won't go into it right now. We'll just see where you are because I know you've just been
Okay,
doing.
go ahead.
I know you've just been doing some readings. Well, do you want me to say it now? Do you
Oh.
want me to cover it now? Let me just get sitting down.
Yeah, girl. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that I channeled this information to this lady. Her mother came through. Want to, okay.
Right, right, okay. Can you hear me all right?
Mhm.
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm not sure if I'm on. Hello? Joanna, can you hear me all right? I can't see the little speaker going yet.
If it's
Right, can you hear me? Damn it. Oh. I found out what's wrong. I was pressing the wrong button. Ha!
You look like Sinead O'Connor now.
Okay, I was pressing the wrong button. I forgot to change my hotkey. I admit it. I'm an idiot. I'm a fool. Well, my hair's vanished. Oh, well, only to you. I can see it. I'm not bald. I'm not bald. Right, okay, right. Okay, very funny. Right.
Jeremy said I should put some clothes on.
It can't be that bad. Hey, Second Life sometimes has a problem. Second Life sometimes it has a problem when you reload the scenery and everything, and sometimes your hair disappears. Okay, right, let me just check something. Hey, stop it.
Sorry.
Stop it.
That was so funny.
Right, okay, let me just talk about...
Let's get serious.
Right, we've got Robbie who contacted me early today on Facebook, and he used to work for Facebook apparently, and he's an insider. And I got into a conversation with Robbie because I was trying to help him get an app, you know, he's using an Android phone, and he's disconnected himself completely from the monetary system. He no longer has a bank account. He had to close his bank account because they were trying to take money off him, and they're trying to push him into debt so that they could arrest him. Now he's on the run apparently, because his life has been threatened, and he can't use PayPal and he can't use any monetary systems that we normally use because of what he knows. And it's because of what he knows that the system is trying to get rid of him. Now, he needs some help because he needs this Android app so he can come into Second Life and talk to us, but he hasn't got the means of getting this app installed, and it's only $3 is the app, but he's got no way of paying for it, so he's completely stuck. Now, from what he was telling me, right, I was talking to him and I said to him about some intuition and some guidance and stuff I had, that this cabal that is currently destroying our planet and stripping everybody of their wealth has done this before many times over many thousands of years on different planets. Our galaxy, our universe, whatever you want to call it, our solar system, if you like, is littered with derelict planets, with ruined cities. There's ruined cities on Mars. There's ruined cities on other planets which we don't even know about. And humanity has been around a lot longer than we're led to believe. We have evolved and lived on many planets, and the same evil entities, whatever you want to call them, spiritual beings, whatever you want to call them, have lived on other planets, and they've done the same thing. They've destroyed humanity in the same way. They've used us to build. They call us the builders, because they can't do anything but manipulate. They're like the remote controls. They manipulate us into doing work for them. Then they suck up all the resources. They steal all the wealth, and it's how they feed on our soul. And it might be a reason why we call it the solar system. Interesting paradox. Whatever. Yeah, solar system. You get it? Anyway, I was talking to Robbie, and he confirmed with me that a lot of what I said was dead on. He said, you know, what you said, he said, that is I'm really pleased to have met you, he said, to actually find somebody that actually knows what I know. And I said to him, well, nobody's told me I just intuitively knew that this has happened on many other planets, and that we're used, and then once they finish using us to get what they want, to build the machines, they get rid of us, then they use the machines to build more machines, and because we're just annoyance to them, we're just playthings. Anyway, that's basically what I was saying, but there's a lot more he knows, but he's not saying yet, because he's in a bit of a dangerous situation. So, anyway, you carry on, Joanna.
Yeah.
Tell me about this reading you did for this lady.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I mean, it's a shame about this guy really quick though, but first of all, does he know anything about the Bitcoins?
Right, he does. He
Okay, good, good.
he
That's a
actually
start right there.
he knows all about the bitcoins, and he says yes, he agrees. It's a good monetary system. He said that it's not controlled by the cabals and the Illuminati. He did mention about the Illuminati being the ones behind our media. They're the ones controlling all our media. That is key, what he said there. That the
Yeah,
Illuminati
because
is controlling our main media.
well, as long as number one, that's his only choice right now. The Bitcoins is his only choice, and or gold and silver, of course. That's the only way at the moment. Because a lot of people besides him are experiencing the same thing, especially those who cannot have accounts. If they even have an account, they will get money taken out of their account or frozen or leaned up or yada yada. So the Bitcoin seems to be very, very, what do you call it? Extremely attractive right now. So I definitely would go that route. Now well, yeah, I had an amazing reading I did for a really awesome lady, and I did not even expect it to happen because it hasn't happened in years. Okay, I mean really, and I have to really attribute this mostly to the Dolores Cannon technique. When I went under last summer, it was for my birthday. I had this lady do the Dolores Cannon, the quantum healing hypnotherapy technique on me, and put me through to a point where I was going to the can't say it right. The really, really deep stage. I can't say it right. I don't have it in front of me. But somnambulistic, I think it is, level, and I was able to channel the higher self or the higher source or some channeling energy, and I was able to talk like not a problem. And I've always had channeling abilities. I just always had to second guess myself. I wasn't really sure, like, oh, who am I channeling? Is this just made up or what? And, I've had other experiences, especially, doing psychometry and things like that, where I would have things come through where as far as what's going on around us right now, like the past or, energies that I tap into their empathic ability, that tap into the individual. But tonight was amazing, and I believe it was a major breakthrough because I did not expect this to happen. I actually tapped into a spiritual energy, which basically the lady claimed was her mother. And the energy felt very feminine. And everything that I explained, she was like, oh my God, that is my mom, to a T. And I was like, whoa, I mean, it was just amazing for me, like how easy it is for me to channel now, even more so. So it was actually a really great experience, and my husband's all happy for me. He's just like, oh my God, I'm just so happy to hear that, He's like, you just got to keep getting back into it and keep practicing more. And I go, I know, I haven't practiced in a long time because, and it's so true. I mean, reading Sylvia Browne's books, I've been really getting back into it again, my whole, my gifts that I've been kind of running from. And she stated in one of her books, she says that if you move away from your gifts and you try to do something else in your life, your gift.
Okay, sorry about that. We had to restart it because the clock stopped at this end. It just stopped, and I don't want to be missing anything. We don't want to miss anything, do we?
Okay.
Um,
I hear you, girl.
the last thing we want to do is
No.
spend 20 minutes talking and then realise we missed it. So,
haven't we learned all this?
oh yeah, we've missed a
Through
lot.
experience.
We've missed a lot. Yeah, I
know.
looked down and the clock had stopped, so I thought I better restart it because it's recording and streaming live. Now it might be live streaming, and the people at the other end might be watching it live, but we might not be recording. You see, that's why I was worried. So anyway, carry on. Sorry about that. Carry on where you were going.
No, no problem. So, anyway, so pretty much what I've learned is, I was told by a couple really good psychics. I mean, they were also mediums, that I had the ability for trance mediumship. And they told me this when I was really young. I was in my early 20s, and they said you're not really gonna fully bloom into that until like maybe your late 30s, early 40s, because usually in mediumship, especially something like trance medium, you're not usually going to get that until you get it, but you're meant to do that. And it scared me because I've had a couple close calls in the past, and it led me to people to think, my ex-husband included, and his circle of friends were thinking, oh, she's schizophrenic. Look, she's nuts. Look at her. She's feeling weird things. She's hearing voices and all that crap. And and it really hurt my feelings. So that's when I decided. I said, I don't want nothing to do with the psychic stuff. If I'm going to look like a nutcase, I don't want to look like a nutcase to anybody. So I pretty much try to move on another road. I mean, I'm very intuitive. I've always had the ability and gift, and and when I ran from it, it shut off. And focusing on and then working with my former mentor, Jaguar at the time, it totally shut off. Like, then I started asking myself questions like, God, where's my psychic ability? Where'd it go? And the thing is, our ability, I'm learning more and more doing, being a reader, a psychic reader, and a tarot reader, is not for ourselves. And that's why, a lot of us, we believe, and you too, Shelley, you're a channeler as well, so you understand. Um, it's not for ourselves, and that's why it might seem like we make a lot of stupid mistakes down the road. And we're like, man, for such psychics, we should really know, the person that we marry before. I mean, we have gut instincts, but we should listen to that. But as far as like a whole psychic, we can't do it. We got to go to somebody else. Our gift is to serve others. And that was the thing. In order to, I thought, okay, I'm going to serve others in a different way. I'm going to help them stop their debt problems and know who they are. And I'm sure I did a very good job at it. But now I'm getting to a point where it's like, when I go down that road, I'm also neglecting my spiritual side, my psychic side, my empathic side. And when I finally made the decision a few weeks ago to say, yes, I am ready to serve, God and Goddess, Mother God, Father God, universe, I'm ready to serve. No matter how I'm able to serve, bring me to that, help me to serve. Whatever you want me to do to help me be an instrument for that, I need to come back to continue with my mission here, not get sidetracked with a bunch of other BS, which a lot of the stuff that I was doing was BS, because we focus on things that are so mundane, that are not, I mean, they're somewhat important because it wakes you up to what's really going on, but at the same time, we're neglecting our spiritual self. And I've noticed that going down the road, I start feeling anxious, I get depressed, or, going through all these emotional problems due to, let's say, focusing on the mundane, trying to make things work through paperwork, getting mad because a creditor writes you back and says bad things to you, and you know what I mean? So what it does, it belittles you, and it brings you at such a tiny little level than what you really truly are. And so since I finally made the decision, Shelley, I have bloomed so much within the past 3 weeks. Like, God has basically said, you know what? Because you're going to be an instrument for me, my child, you're going to be an instrument for me, and you've made the decision to turn away from losing faith in me and losing faith in your guides, and you're coming back. I'm going to give you your gifts back, and you're going to have a gift that you haven't had in a while, or that you haven't really experienced much. And if you're going to go all the way, you're going to go all the way. So that's pretty much what I'm here for. It's to help others to, wake up in that way. And I'm hoping right now I'm studying for my past life regression certification here, which I should be done probably in the next couple weeks here. And I started last year after the Dolores Cannon thing, and then I stopped because I got so freaking busy with other things. But I'm doing the past life regression. I've already done the clinical hypnotherapy. But what I want to do with the past life hypnotherapy, a regression, and then move into the Dolores Cannon, I want to help people in a different way. I want to help people where they learn to expand their own psychic abilities, because the more that they're able to expand in their own psychic abilities, they enhance their empathic abilities, they enhance their clairvoyant abilities. Um, what it is, whatever abilities it is, it's of God, and you're working from the heart chakra. So the more that I can freaking open up, let's put it this way, the more that everyone's going to wake up to who they truly are. You know, the debt validation stuff, the secure party creditor stuff, sure, it was okay for a little bit, but it's not the whole answer to everything. And I've told even Jaguar this, I've told many people they're missing something else. And the most important thing is really, you know, tapping in, and that's why I stress out to everybody, meditate, get into meditation, you know, go to a hypnotherapist, do what you got to do to go. It's all about inner work, because when we forget about who we are, then we're challenged with all these other tribulations and trials, and we see the elite as bigger than we are, and really they're not. They're just here to push our buttons to a point where they're like, hey, you know what? You want to be the chattel that you want to act like a little screaming chattel, then we're going to treat you that way. But there's something more within us that, I mean, it scares them. It scares them tremendously, but I feel that, you know, we're at a stance right now. Everybody's psychic. We all are. We're all empathic. But the problem is, you know, some are willing to allow to be it and follow their light. If they're not, then they're going to go. Their whole ability is going to close off, and then they're going to be subjected to the third dimensional mentality. That's what I think, anyway. I mean, that's pretty much what I came to this conclusion. You know, that's pretty much it right now.
Yeah, sorry, I was just navigating around a little bit, just exploring, so we have a bit of scenery. But I was listening to it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I agree with what you're saying, exactly. And you see what it is, right? The elites think they're following God's plan, right? They're following a book which is out of date, and from all the spiritual guidance that I've received, this plan is supposed to have been changed because the elites cheated. You see, they used they changed time technology to change our timeline in their favour. So they've broken the rules. Now, as you know, when you're playing a game, and they regard life on Earth as a game, this is why we have the Illuminati playing cards. Now, they regard this as a blooming game, but it's not a game anymore. The game is supposed to have been over and finished with. This is why we're supposed to have had disclosure. Disclosure was all about coming out and telling us that we've been living in a 3D holographic world, and that the whole thing was designed to teach us and for us to evolve and learn from it. But oh, hang on a minute. I think as the stream stopped, it said lost internet connection. So I've got perfect streaming. It's alright. The clock's still going. It just interrupted. Then it's going again now. But yeah, apparently, well, I'll just repeat that because it might have got missed. Apparently, we're living in a 3D holographic world, and it's supposed to be a game, a learning experience for all of humanity. Let me just focus on myself a minute. Right, and what's happened is the game has gone on too long. It's gone a bit too far, and they've broken the rules, and intervention is going to have to take place now from people on the outside, you know, spiritual family, because we're supposed to be reuniting with them, and the elites are trying to get rid of us before the ships arrive, and this is why they're running out of time. They're trying to get rid of us, and they're trying to corrupt us and poison us with chemicals, because when our space family arrive, they're going to find out we're so polluted, and the elites are going to try and blame it on us. They're going to say, oh, it's them, they did it, we never did it. But it's not going to work, because the space family knows the truth, they know what's going on, they know about all the deceptions and everything. But time is running out for the Dark Cabal, because intervention is already happening, but most of it's happening on a remote basis, as in what's called walk-ins. You know, spiritual spiritual people from other worlds have walked into human bodies and are here and they're trying to help save humanity, but the actual real spiritual entities from other planets are not actually here, as in from one planet to our planet. They've simply walked into bodies here, and they're trying to raise the vibration of the planet and steer us in the right direction. But this is why the Cabals are lacing themselves with all this money and this wealth. They seem to think that that money and that wealth is going to save their butt. But as we know...
Yeah, and it's so much control with that, you know, and that's why I'm just like totally clapping to the Bitcoin thing, you know. I'm really, really, really happy about the whole Bitcoin. I mean, again, it's only a stepping stone, not saying that I worship the darn thing, but it's just a stepping stone to get to higher ground. That's all. Because really, and I've told everybody, currency is just a belief system, just like anything else. It's not, you know, it's not nothing really that important, you know, because we give it that importance. That's all. You know, if we feel that it's going to make us a lot of money, or money is that important, or, you know, gold or silver, or, I mean, you can turn a freaking plant or a flower into a currency. You know, it's just how well you're able to use it. Just like the Bitcoin, you're able to use it very easily. And I feel that that's going to break away. We're going to break away from a lot of this control. And just the thought, and what makes it exciting is that other people are mining these Bitcoins, which means that they're creating the Bitcoins. You know, they say it's hard work. Sure, of course, it's a beginning, but when things start to evolve, what's going to happen? Ma and Pa are going to start mining Bitcoins, and before you know it, it's going to be so freaking easy to mine Bitcoins because you're going to have another technology, some little technology to make it easy for you to do it. You know how it goes with technology. You know, it's going to be, it's so ridiculous. You know, like, okay, the corporations were the only ones that had computers back in the day. You know, I don't remember having a computer when I was a youngin'. But now everybody has computers. They make it so accessible, flexible. Now they got ebooks everywhere. They got little, I mean, you're freaking viewing SL from your mobile phone, for crying out loud. So, I mean, people can create a damn computer now. So now people can create a freaking currency. So what does that tell you? That tells you it's the next stepping stone. Because it's so freaking easy to create a Bitcoin and currency, then guess what? Then it's just going to lower its value because there's going to be so many of them out there that people are just going to have to, you know what? The currency is not going to be a big issue anymore. It's not going to be a big thing because it was actually used for control in the first place. You know, back in the day, the Native Americans, you know, even earlier than that, I mean, they had their communities like Mu and Lemuria, which I was definitely from what I've experienced through the Dolores Cannon method. I can actually say that I was living in Mu, Lemuria, and it was it was the most happiest society ever. People were getting along. Everyone was happy. It was so much love, so much light. I didn't experience anything like fear until I went to Atlantis. Then I experienced freaking fear. I mean, I didn't even, when I went to Atlantis, I didn't even want to be there. You know, I don't know why people, they talk highly about it, but I was there and I didn't like the place. I was like, oh God, there was ego problems. People would look at me differently. And, you know, Lemuria, I was free. I was a free spirit. I believe that we were like, we didn't really have any bodies. Like we were kind of light bodies or something then. That's how I felt. So, I mean, going through those experiences and then coming back here, it's like, wow, you know what? It was done. I'm back. Okay, I'm back.
Wonderful. Yeah, I noticed a couple of viewers dropped off the live stream, so yeah, we're sorry to keep everybody waiting. Yeah, we're really sorry, but you know, Joanna's she's been very busy tonight, and it's very dry in the throat when you're doing a lot of talking.
Yeah, and and doing a major reading too. So yeah, that's that's not always easy. So yeah, but I'm back. All right. So pretty much where do we carry on from here? I mean, what were we talking about earlier?
Well,
spirituality.
I'd like to hear a bit about your reading earlier, a little bit about. I mean, obviously, I don't want to hear any personal information, but I was having some
Oh,
stream glitches. It kept stopping and starting, but it's still going. The clock's still ticking, so I'll let
okay.
you carry on and talk generally what you normally do.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so pretty much, a lot of my let's say followers, from Sovereign Warriors and all the other groups, just know that yep, I'm moving and following my heart. Okay, so following my passion and going back to like 2008 when I was really into following my passion even more when a whole new door opened up for me, and that was, meeting you, Shelley, meeting you, meeting the wonderful light workers. One of them was Brad Johnson, and many, many others. Uh, Very grateful for that, and they've taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about us coming from, our family coming from the other star systems, and then also guiding me in channeling these higher energies. I mean, we're not talking about the dead or anything, or our grandma and grandpa and our mom and pa and things like that. We're teaching me to channel higher energies, and such as the Arcturians, and which their energy is extremely lovely. I love their energy. Oh my God, it's so intoxicating. Haven't had that experience in years, and that's what happens when you tend to walk away from it. You lose faith in the higher realms, and basically you start becoming a little too grounded into the matrix. I wouldn't even call it grounded. I believe it's more being cut off from who we really are. But yeah, I definitely, and you're very, very aware of Dolores Cannon, right, Shelley? You've followed her a little bit. Um, I believe you told me more about her, but she's been a hypnotherapist for like I think 40 years, and she created the QHHT, quantum healing hypnotherapy technique. And it's really funny because from what she was feeling was it's no more trying to help the people or trying to help the planet from an external way, from the outside way, because it's not working. It hasn't worked, and they've been working this for years, and nothing has come out of it. But it's mostly coming into internally, because see, when you're working in the external environment, you're kind of going against the grain, or let's say going against the will, their free will. When you go internally, you're getting their full um, okay, saying, yes, please, I am ready to go inside myself, not only going to a medium to channel certain energies from, their family and whatever on the other side, but they can go in within themselves. And me being as a past life regressionist, I can even lead them to the door, not only to communicating with their higher self or their higher consciousness of why we're here, but it's also to communicate with um, their family that passed on, or the spiritual energies like the Syrians, the Palladians. I mean, you're able to communicate yourself, but I'm there to be your guide, to guide you there, and then I would record everything that you say, and that would be for your personal preference there. And I mean, I go back every so now and then, and I'll re-listen to the recording, and I'll be like, oh my God, I said that. Wow, it's starting to make sense to me now. So that is bringing a lot of interest within me and passion, and I'm thinking, this is the way to go. The more people we can open up that way, they actually are going inside and channeling energy and information and allowing it to go through their voice channels and talking, like what happened with me when I was under. The more comfortable that they are with this, the more comfortable that they are going to be able to channel without having to go through under hypnotherapy again, if they choose, and be able to be a channel for others as well. I think that's, and not only that, it's the feeling, okay, the feeling that we miss, the feeling that we miss when we used to be home. And when I'm talking about home, I'm talking about home with God, home with a higher source. You feel this energy of unconditional love. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Like I did not want to wake up from this hypnotherapy. I was not wanting to wake up because it felt so freaking good. It felt so warm. I felt like I could be whoever I want to be. I felt like, I didn't have a body. I was restricted by a body. I was absolutely happy. And each time I come down to this planet, I would get very heavy. I'd start feeling my legs, and then I would start feeling, oh gosh, I'm back here again. It's like a heavy matter, it's like a heavy weighted feeling every time you come down here, and then you forget pretty much who you are, and it's like, and then you kind of go back to the Bible, biblical texts, about like maybe feeling cut off from God, like going to a place where it's like hell, and where you're cut off from God, and you'll call him, you'll shout, and you can't hear him or her, you can't hear them talk to you, so it's like such a lonely feeling. And it's so funny because even like Sylvia Browne said, what Francine, her guide, told her was something very interesting. And she said that the guide, Francine, told her, it's okay, when you come to this earth, you die. When you leave this earth and you move into the other side, you finally live. So basically, we're like walking corpses. And right there, that kind of made me realize, oh my gosh, well, I'll be darned. Walking corpse. The straw man, artificial name, the vessel, all that stuff kind of tying in. We're walking fictional characters because we forgot who we are and where we come from. That is the reason why. Imagine if all of us can all go under hypnotherapy, go through meditation, learning, having a guide help you through it to learn to be more sensitive. We have become so insensitive through the vaccinations, through the chemical foods that we eat. And I mean, all I have to say is I thank God. I thank God that I'm able to have the sensitivity to feel. And I thought it was too much for me. I thought it was too much. But, and a psychic told me, this one lady, a medium told me, she says, usually when you turn to a certain age, like in your, early 40s, you're able to deal with the energies that come through. But when you're younger, it's very difficult, and a lot of people will kind of lose their minds. That's why you don't wait to do mediumship until you're a little older, like in your late 30s, early 40s, because of the major energies that come through, especially. Because, man, it could be very, very overwhelming. Oh, boy. It could be extremely overwhelming at times. But, so, you remember that movie Others, Shelley, where, okay, the whole time we're thinking that these people were living alive, the mother and her kids, and then all of a sudden she comes face to face with a medium. And the medium basically, you know, we find out the whole truth that, oh my gosh, these people were dead the whole time. But now I'm beginning to think, well, heck, like what Sylvia Browne's guide said, Francine, well, heck, aren't
Are you
we're
talking
dead when
about?
we come
Are
to
you
this earth?
are you talking about Lost and the others in Lost?
No, the movie, The Others, with
Oh,
Nicole Kidman.
I haven't seen that. No, I'll have to check it out.
Mm.
But in Lost,
Oh, I just gave it away. Oh,
oh,
crap.
right. Well, in Lost, in the TV show Lost, um, there was these others, and they also were well, all of them on the island in Lost. All of them found out that they were dead, and they were trying to get home and get off the island. But in reality, they were there. They were supposed to face the fears or something and move on, basically. And they were seeing all sorts of monsters and things, and what they thought about and what their fears were. Like they manifested polar bears and all sorts of strange smoke monster and all sorts of things on the island, and it was all because
Right.
they were dead. So it sounds a bit like
Wow.
sounds like somebody's script writing must be based on somebody else's idea by the sounds of it.
Right. Well, my husband and I, we were watching Lost, the show, a lot. We were really into that too. Pretty interesting stories, yeah, but the movie Others, wow, it was such a crazy twist at the end. I mean, it was a crazy movie the whole time, and it made you really wonder, like, whoa, because, they always say that, when you do clearings, when you do ghost clearings in these houses, and, you feel these energies, and they're so strong, and they don't want to leave the house, it's because they actually believe that is their house. And what if we're the ones that go into their house and they look at us like we're a bunch of ghosts? And they're actually living. And like what Sylvia Brown said, that there's on the other side, everybody that goes back there, they're like 30 years old. Every single one that leaves this planet, they're at 30 and they stay at 30. And the city is like 3 feet or 3 inches above us. That's it. And they have buildings, they have careers, you could do whatever it is you want, but there's no currency. It's just something, it's a whole nother reality. So it makes you wonder, and the only thing is, it's very important. I feel even more so, it's so important to learning to expand your psychic abilities, to expand your psychic gifts, not just for professional reasons. I mean, to really go in depth and to get more in depth and closer to who you really are and who your source is, because the ones that are connected to their source seriously, not through a church, not through a book, but are able to communicate or connect, whether it's through, if you can hear them talk to you or if you can feel the energy, that's a form of communication as well. As long as you stay in connection in that way, you're going to be all right. So no matter what the news says, about, oh my God, an earthquake's going to hit, oh, Cliff High, he'll say some things, and I like him. I really do. I love what he says. But, and he does bring out warning signs of what could happen. But a lot of us who are connected, and it takes work to be connected. You have to meditate every other day. It's being in the now, being in the present moment, being able to kind of be in between worlds. You walk like that every day, like me, you too, Shelley. And I come to find out that in hypnotherapy, that we intuitives or sensitives, I like to say that word sensitive better than psychic. We operate from a delta state, a brainwave, which is known as a delta state, which is the deepest level of sleep or trance, which is where the somnambulistic level is. When you go under, that Dolores Cannon brings you under, that far deep, is when you're able to communicate and you're able to tap into these energies. Very interesting. And the theta is right before when you go into the dream state. But I'm talking delta. That's like the lowest you go. And I had no idea. I didn't know that. I thought it was the theta that you would be able to tap in. But no, I guess we operate a little differently. I thought that was pretty interesting. Like, what about your abilities, Shelley?
Hang on a minute. Let me just zoom out my camera. Yeah, hang on. I'll just zoom out a bit, and because I can't see my little thingy bleeping. All right, I can see what you see. I want to make sure I'm talking because I can see the little thing flashing above my head. I'm not quite sure how it works with me, but it seems to me that I'm connected pretty much all the time because I'll instantly make decisions based on guidance. Sometimes I'll explain it this way. I mean, sometimes I might be walking through town, and my guidance say to me, "Don't go this way, go the other way," and I'll walk a different path. And then later I'll hear that there was someone that was attacked in the street or something, or there was, something happened. Now I want to tell you about this because I think I mentioned this to you before. I went out early one morning. It was last week, and I was walking along the street. I was going to the shop. It was early in the morning. It was about 5:30. It was very early when this corner newsagent's just opened. And as I was walking there, I had this guidance popped into my head about an asteroid or something or a meteorite falling on my head. Now, I didn't really understand what this was about until I got to the shop, because I went to the shop and the lady wasn't in the shop. So I was standing outside waiting for her, and then I heard this almighty big crash. You know, it's like a great big thump. Then she came around the corner about a minute later, and she said a tile just missed me, it nearly hit me on the head. So the guidance was telling me that basically that something was going to fall, but I didn't interpret it as I thought it was going to hit me, because like you do think, oh, maybe it's going to hit me, but no, it might have hit this lady, and it was a warning, and obviously it happened literally a few minutes later.
Oh, very, excuse me, very, very interesting. Yeah, I've had I've had a serious experience that's more of like a gut instinct too, a major gut instinct. And I remember something similar happened with me years when I was 9, and we were in La Paz, Mexico, Baja, and we were ready to go on a ferry. And this is back in I'm trying to remember what year was this. Well, I was 9, so obviously it was the early 80s, and I think it was 84 or something like that. And what happened was we ended up we were about to take a ferry, and I told my dad, I said, no, I don't have a good feeling about this, and I started crying. I didn't want to go on the boat. And so finally I started feeling better. He talked me out of it. I said, okay, fine, I'm excited. We're going to go on a boat. Yay. And for some reason that day, it was so hard to get on that ferry. They made it absolutely impossible for my parents to get on that ferry. Well, anyway, that night we came home and we decided we're going to take the next ferry. So the next day we get up in the morning, and what do we see on the news? The ferry land sunk, and it killed several people. And it almost made it to Puerto Vallarta. And it like tipped over or something, and it sunk. I mean, it was like, oh my God. It was the freakiest thing. And there's that feeling, there's a saying, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's your time to go, it's going to be your time to go. But yeah, that is very major confirmation there. I mean, like what you're going through, that is a major internal gut instinct, and I would get warnings like that if it had anything to do with serious danger. And there'll be times, I mean, where I could not ignore it. I'd have to fall through. But there have been times that I would ignore, and then things would happen, and it's like, crap, I should have listened to myself.
Well, I just wanted to say, it always makes me laugh, when I talk to people. I can talk to taxi drivers, and I can talk to people generally, and I ask them if they believe in psychic abilities, and they say, no, I don't believe in all that mumbo jumbo. I says, well, do you trust your gut instincts? And they say, yeah, of course I do. I always trust my gut instincts. I say, well, you silly boy, I mean, that is the same bloody thing. What do you think your gut instincts are? It's psychic. Blooming heck. Oh, you talk to people in the street, and you try to talk to them and say, do you believe in psychic intuition and guidance? They say, I don't believe in that mumbo jumbo. And then they tell me they believe in the gut instincts.
I know.
It's the same thing.
It's so freaking funny, man. That is so funny. Oh my God, that is so hilarious. It's so, so that's what they do. I mean, the whole education system, I mean, we can get into that forever. I mean, they really, really tried to do their best to really dumb people down. The last thing they want to hear anything about is, especially when you're learning a curriculum, it's learn this, learn that, read this, read this. But have they ever asked you once to feel something? I mean, maybe in preschool or kindergarten, I touched something in a little bag, and I had to tell them what I felt, things like that. But really to feel something, it's always about the logical mind, the logical brain, because the more that they cut you off from the physical, or I'm sorry, the emotions, the less likely you're able to, take it seriously and be able to guide yourself. They don't want you to talk like that. They don't want you to ask about feelings and guiding and And I heard something like on Judge Judy, this one lady said, well, I feel in the right way. She snapped at her and says, no, we're not talking about your feelings. We're talking about the facts. And I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, please. So what? We're robots? But this is a very hard planet, girl. We know it. We knew it before we came here. It's a very, very difficult planet to change a lot of people, and we just got to we got to get right with what we're supposed to be doing. That is all. I mean, yeah, it sounds easier said than done, right? I know it. Trust me, I've had a lot of persecutions many lifetimes, including this one. But you know what? I have to stick to my guns because if I don't, then you realize your life gets so difficult. It becomes even more difficult when you run away from your gifts, when you run away from who you are. And when you finally own it and say, yes, I'm ready to accept it and I'm here to serve. And I believe those of you out there, if you are stuck, and you're in a stuck situation and nothing is moving, what you need to do is just go into your altar or communicate with your higher self or your higher beings and ask them, how can I serve? And you will be so amazed what pops up. I am not kidding. And you don't have to be psychic or sensitive. You could be a mechanic for all I know. You could be anything. But when you ask the question to the universe, how can I serve? How can I be an instrument to humankind? What can I do? You'll be amazed at what will start popping up. Everything will be in alignment for your higher good because it's in alignment with your heart chakra. It's not in alignment with your ego at all. We've all gone through the ego thing. We operate from the ego a lot. But, a lot of us, we have to move out of it. And I know what it's like. I've been there, been part of many Wiccan groups, pagan groups, psychic circles, and talking to and I can go on and on about that too, talking to other psychic people. I had experiences, oh my gosh. Okay, there's a place called, somewhere in Carlsbad. I won't name it or anything, but there's like a mystic shop around that area. And the moment I walk in, I'm a youngin', I was like in my, 30, 31, 32. And the moment I say psychic, and then I want to put my little business cards down there, to say, hey, I'm a psychic reader. You guys, can I put my little cards right here? You should have seen the look on a couple of these older women faces looking at me, like totally looking down at me, and one trying to show off and asking me questions like, okay, so, and reading me, and then I'm looking at her, and like she's challenging me to read her, and I read her so well, but I didn't really say anything because I felt very, intimidated by her energy, and I looked at her, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, if you really, really want me to read you, lady, I'm going to embarrass you like crazy in this shop, But I didn't say that, but I was just like, wow, look at these people. They acted so threatened by me. Here I'm just this little youngin' compared to these people that have been doing it for years. And they're like, oh, who's this little girl who thinks that she's going to have a freaking psychic business? Like it was like a duel or something. And I'm like, I'm just a mom with children, a Navy wife who does her readings from home. I don't have tons of money where I'm opening up a business out in Del Mar or anything like that. I'm just following my heart and following what I'm here to do. And they acted very threatened, and I'm thinking, wow, obviously this is not, and you're going to see that in a lot of other groups, even the light work groups of how they think that they know more, more than the other knows. And then the sovereign groups, it's the same thing. It's all ego based. And to me, I mean, if you're just going to be a psychic, or even though you have an ability, but you're doing it like for the wrong reasons, just for fame and that's it, if you're not really here to help others, I mean, you could be famous, sure, that's not an issue, but you have to come in it with a real intention of being there to help others. Like you really, you could be famous all you want, but if you know that this planet is going to go to crap, what good does your fame do? What good does your fame do for you? You know what I'm saying? Like how, no one's going to pay attention to you when everyone's getting shot and killed and slaughtered. So, I mean, come on now. You know what I mean? And that's not the full intention. You're not here to be what do you call it? It's so funny. Your girlfriend Janice was telling me a pony, like a little what is it? Oh God, girl, like a pony, like a circus pony. We're not here to be a circus pony to prove that we're psychic and to woo you and scare you. And of course, we might freak you out because, yeah, I mean, if you want us to really read you, we're going to tell you what we're picking up. But really, it's not to show off that we're better than you. It's to show off just how freaking powerful you are. And if you can tap, when you are able to allow to tap into this, allow yourself to tap into this, that is when you become closer to God. I believe full-heartedly, because you allow yourself to be a true instrument for the higher realms. And also want to bring up something else. Okay, very interesting, girl. Um, let me see. I was thinking a lot about, okay, something in my mind, like everything hit me all at once. Reading the Dolores Cannon book on the Essenes and about Jesus, okay? I've always had a conflict with Jesus. And it wasn't him. It wasn't so much him. It was mostly the fact that, the churches, how they taught him to be. And knowing full well that he is nothing close to what these churches have taught him to be. So when people would ask me, well, don't you love Jesus? Then it gets me really mad. And then I feel like, you know what, you want to know what I think, I get really mad. But really, that's not how I truly feel. I'm understanding that, more and more, a lot of things are coming in my understanding of him, especially after my hypnotherapy session with Dolores Cannon's technique, that I came from that time. I was there when he was around, but I necessarily did not say that I was talking to him. I only said that I knew of him, so I couldn't really go that deep. But I remembered that I got persecuted and I got killed. I got stabbed in the heart several times. Let's put it that way, okay? So I got stabbed in the heart several times. Right, exactly. And I think it was to stick up for him. Maybe that could have been it. I don't know. But yes, and what you do find out about what Jesus's message is that you could be just like me or better, he stated in the Bible, and including the Bible, the hidden Bible, which is, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the and Mary Magdalene and all that. And in one of the hypnotherapy session, I did remember myself saying, I have a code. I just want to be with God, like I'm loving where I'm at. I'm loving this place, but I'm here by a code. Like I'm on, like I have an honor with him. Like I have a code with him. And I feel that I was part of some group like the Knights Templar because I'm so fascinated with ritual, and I've been a part of the Esoteric Order of the Golden Dawn for many years, and I'm in love with it. But I never understood what the heck the rose meant. Okay? I never understood, and we had the rose on the altar. We're smelling the rose. I had no idea what it meant. It represents Mary Magdalene, girl. And I never even knew that. And a lot of these rituals, we called upon Jesus' name, but it wasn't Jesus. It was Yeshua, Yehovah Shah. We never called him by Jesus. So these teachings are so ancient, dating all the way back to the Essenes. And the more that I've learned about all this, and then coming from that place, it's like I want to go further. And so one thing's leading me to the next. And then, Sylvia Brown, she has her church, which is the Novus Spiritus, and they're Gnostic. And I believe that is definitely my belief, a Gnostic belief. And the Holy Grail, what I'm finding out, the Holy Grail is not the bloodline of Jesus. It's really the teachings that he tried to share, that the church was trying to kill all the Knights Templar and everyone else involved that were trying to spread the message, because the church was in so much power that if they ever found out this information that Jesus was trying to share, that the whole church would just go down and people would wake up. What Jesus was trying to do was he was trying to wake everybody up immediately quicker so we can ascend faster. That was his whole purpose. It wasn't the fact that I'm the son of God, you know, you are a sinner and yada yada. It was the fact he came here to make it quick so that we can all ascend quick. We can make it a quick, fast ascension where we would just immediately evolve quick and then move past all these little tests. If anything, he was really trying to freaking help us out. But they diluted his message, making it sound like, you know, if you are not the way, then you're going to go to hell and all this other crazy bull. Well, maybe hell is this planet Earth. And he was just trying to say, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm the way. I have a way of helping you out. You know, sure, there's a lot of other groups out there. There's a lot of Wiccan groups and pagan that they have a lot of love and all this great information. And it's wonderful. It's mostly the information of the earth, the rituals of the earth. But perhaps Jesus came down like Buddha and Krishna with this key to help wake up. You know, they're ascended masters. They're here to wake up humanity to hurry up. Come on, let's get going. Quit, wake up from your primitive mind. And now I'm seeing it even more, especially in the commercial redemption world, you know, and I'm just like, and how the judge treats you and the police treats you, and I'm just like, oh my God, you act like how the Romans treated Jesus, you know? Oh, and another thing about the Jesus thing that is going to trip you out, I'm sure, Shelley, you already know this. The fact is Jesus never died. And there's a lot of documents or writings that support this. He never died on the cross. He got to a point where he moved into like a transcendental meditation because when he was away from 12 years old to 30-something years old, he went to India for the longest time. He learned a lot of great techniques from India and Buddhism to heal, to meditate, and do all these amazing things. Because if you go to India, you see a lot of these people, you know, with hooks on their backs. You know, they're getting hung from hooks on their backs, and they're in this meditative state where they could have probably died of shock, and none of them die. So that's another thing. He was up on the cross, and he was probably going through a meditative state, and how funny, they had a stool to support his leg, and his leg was never broken. Then finally, after 3 days, what happened was he got out of his meditative state, and somehow, I guess from what Sylvia Browne's guide was saying, that they negotiated, or he had a friend that actually helped him out of there and made him look like he was dead, and picked him up and took him to the little tomb somewhere. And then, you know, they say the next day, you know, they went to go see the little tomb that he was laying in, and he wasn't there anymore. Well, how funny. He shows up, and he shows everybody, hey, look at me, I'm fine. Look, I don't have nothing wrong with me. But man, he couldn't wait to eat fish. And then Sylvia says, I've seen so many ghosts in my life, and spirits, or the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call these energies, and none of them have ever asked me for freaking fish, okay, or food. Like, they were not hungry for food. He's like, she's like, that is definitely a physical human thing, okay? And so when they all ate the last time, I guess before Jesus left again, he was so freaking hungry. I mean, of course, you're getting off the freaking cross. You know, you're about to die almost. You know, he's probably coming out of meditation, and he's just freaking hungry, which makes perfect darn sense. So anyway, he goes to France, and then he meets Mary Magdalene, and then him and Mary Magdalene have 7 kids together. And then there you go. They pass on all this information, and that's when the Knights Templar comes to being, where they guard the Holy Grail, the guarded secrets. Isn't that freaking interesting? And he was never dead. They said he lived up to 120 years old. And 7 children of his. And basically, I mean, and it makes me just want to go to the Nag Hammadi text again, look in the, you know, the other Bible, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and just really get into it again. Like, really learn his true messages. And also found out that there's a Knights Templar, an international Knights Templar group that is pretty darn big. And I don't know if you've heard of it, but I guess it's out of Scotland, and you know, they said, no, we have nothing to do, you know, with the Freemasons or anything. But back in the day, the Freemasons were good people. They were good friends with the Rosicrucians. And the problem was that some of the Jewish people came involved to join, and a lot of the Jewish, not all of them, but a lot of them that were bankers, and that's when they led the Freemason group astray when they had really uh, a pure mind to be part of this thing for Christ, to bring this message out there that you guys can do what I do, I mean, pretty much to shift you, to bring you into a higher shift, and that's it. And now the Freemasonry, now the King's Templar are trying to get the Freemasons to come join them, and say, hey, it's okay, let's all come together. Now we know who the banksters are. Let's spread this message far and wide, what Jesus tried to spread years ago. And this is the matrix. This is the key of getting out of the matrix, just like Neo. Neo, I believe, he is, in the movie The Matrix, Neo represents the second coming of Christ, probably, to free humanity from the matrix. So, what do you think of that, girl?
Yeah, I agree. I think so. Every time I start talking, I notice my stream goes wonky. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming twice as much. I don't know. But yeah, I agree everything you've been saying. I mean, there's such a lot of stuff about our history which has been changed, and we don't know the true facts. A lot of it's been fictionalized and things and distorted, and I mean, there's a lot of things, if you read it, doesn't make sense unless you put it in a different perspective.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. But that's why the heart, and this is what my friend Eddie told me, my mentor who invented the air cars that run on air, Eddie Hadi Shahab. He says, I'm just going to give you two clues. The way, and it was funny because he never mentioned this from his lips when I knew him personally. He mentioned it from his lips through the phone one day, and this is like years ago. This is maybe 4 years ago. I'm driving down the road in San Diego, and he says, I'm going to give you he's like, yeah, Yeshua is the way. And I go, you mean Jesus? He goes, yes. And he says, and another way, he's like, it's the heart and the pineal gland. He says, focus on those two things, three things. And he says, and you're going to be all right. And he said he's been communicating with the Syrians, the Palladians. He's been astral traveling, all this stuff. So for him to be open-minded to all that and then still believe in Yeshua, that to me is like, whoa, this is more information that we're not knowing about, because, the Jesus and then all these other churches are against all these teachings. So a lot of these people who claim that they're Christian, they're really not. They're really not, just like a lot of the Jewish people that claim they're the true Jew are not. And you have to go back to the true reality. The true Christians they were not of the Roman Catholic Church. That was when the power came to control humankind. I mean, if that is not true, then why the heck did they kill off the Knights Templar? Why the heck did they kill off all these other groups that were trying to spread this message that was so freaking important? I don't know anything about the Essenes. Maybe they tried to kill them off too. All this information, obviously it was to threaten them. So, I mean, who knows? So that's why, after I had this hypnosis thing done, it's like, I just want to go back again. I want to go back and find out more information, and through me, I want to know, because we have so much information inside of us that needs to come out.
Yeah, talking about information, now I've set this live stream to restart itself every hour, and we've been doing really well because we're actually at 52 minutes and 30 seconds in this last session that we've been streaming without any interruptions. So it might actually automatically restart itself when it gets to the 1 hour mark. Now, the reason I mentioned that is because that way you won't get cut off in the midstream. I also wanted to mention for people that want to join in, there's an Android app. Hang on a minute, let me just bring this up. Well, actually, I can't press my button and show it on the screen at the same time, but there's an Android app available. Sorry, it's not just for Android, it's for SIP, I think it's for iPhone, I don't have a mobile phone myself, so I do believe it covers most mobile phones actually. But you can create an account on the internet on secondlife.com. Go to website secondlife.com. You can create your account, set your avatar up and everything. And once you've got your account set up and created a logon and username, that's a logon username and password, you can use the app to log on to Second Life. Let me just get the name and I'll type it in here. That's probably the best bet. Hang on a sec. Right, it's called Lumia Viewer. It's here in the chat. On the text, you can get that for your phone, and yeah, you can actually come and join us. So even if your computer doesn't support Second Life, it's got 3D as well. But I do believe it might be slow on older phones. But if you've got a fairly decent mobile phone, it should work fine. You can always skip back and watch the video later and get the information. But I did put the text file up again earlier, and I will show it again while Joanna's talking, because as I say, I can't show the text file while I'm talking because I have to have the application Second Life highlighted, otherwise my push to talk button doesn't work. Anyway, we've got 6 minutes, Joanna, so if you want to say some things before it restarts itself, because it'll do that on the hour, so I'll let you carry on.
Yeah, no worries. Was Johnny gonna show up, or?
Oh, I got a message from Johnny. He was coming. Oh, it's getting dark. Look, the sun's going down.
No.
Johnny was going to show up, but one of his relatives showed up at his house, and now he can't come in. So we're really disappointed. But Johnny's got a very busy household. He has people showing up all the time, and so he can't join us, unfortunately. But I do know that there's a lot of people that want to join in. There was a lady who wanted to come and join us as well tonight, but her graphics card. Oh, look at that! Lights, come on. There was this lady. There was this lady who wanted to join us tonight, and somebody hacked her laptop, and she had to reset and reinstall a computer. But now she's got no got no hardware acceleration, which means she can't play any games. So I told her what to do, to go to the Microsoft website and update all her Windows drivers, and also to update the graphics drivers, because that's why she can't come on here. But hopefully she'll be able to come and join us next week.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Well, you know what I'm thinking about. Well, next week, excuse me. Next week, like I said, this week I'm going to be really working hard on my certification for the PLR regression, past life regression certificate, because I want to start really doing that even more, really getting into that along with my psychic readings and all that. So I'm going to be doing as much as I can. Then I might be asking for some guinea pigs. Anyone who would like to join me, and I'd love for you, Shelley, if you can join me as well. I think that'd be really awesome. And I don't know, are you into the hypnotherapy?
I've never done hypnotherapy, no. I don't believe I can be hypnotized, actually, because some people can't be, and I think that's an advantage, because that is... I mean, I stopped watching television in 2003. I stopped watching television, so I'm probably one of the first people to wake up on this agenda thing and this manipulation. I haven't watched television for 10 years now, and I don't know how many...
Actually, everybody can get hypnotized. It's just the way of getting hypnotized. Like, if you can... Okay, you know, basically, if I can just tell you if you can, okay, have you ever driven in a car and you were in a zone where, and then finally when you got home, you're like, oh crap, I'm home already? Like, you probably had all these thoughts.
No, I've never had a car actually, but I have ridden a moped.
Okay.
But I've never actually been.
A moped
I've never been in that state. You mean like being on total autopilot?
There you go. Yeah, I mean, just by me saying, okay, 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 Shelly, now this is what I want you to do. Okay, I want you to breathe in, breathe out, and then close your eyes.
Bear in mind, if you put
Okay,
me into a trance, I won't be able
that's
to
it.
operate the controls on here.
That's it. That's it. That's what hypnosis is. That's all it is. It's not to like like you're in a zombie lane. No, it's when you move yourself in a trance state through meditation, then you're able to go in through. It's the same thing as hypnosis. It's very very similar. You're just in a relaxed state and you're in control the whole time. It's not like, like you're afraid that you're gonna quack like a duck or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. I remembered every little moment. I was amazed though, because it feels like you're about to go to sleep a little bit, but you're actually awake the whole time and you're aware of what happens. So that's all it is. It's mostly you're just in a more of a relaxed type of state, and that's it. People think it's a
Oh,
lot
right.
more.
Um, the stream is about to restart itself. The live stream. What happens is it stops automatically. It saves the file to my local hard drive, and it reinitializes a new stream. So everyone that's watching right now, don't panic. It'll stop and just wait. Sit back, and it'll restart itself. And it's going to do that in approximately 20 seconds. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay.
So,
I wanted to know if there was something else that you wanted to say, because I can't count this down too much longer. So if there's
oh,
anything else that you want to share.
well, there was a little bit. It's going to restart in 4 seconds.
Okay.
So hang on a minute. Right. Okay, it's restarted. Okay, we're on a fresh hour now. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
There was something else I wanted to say, and it's slipped my mind now. But I think it had to do with what Robbie was saying. Something related to what Robbie was. Oh yeah, I was talking to Robbie about the fact that all these people, these cabals, and all these rich people like Bill Gates, um, and what's his name, Mark Zuckerberg, is it, of Facebook, who created Facebook? Is it Mark Zuckerberg? Anyway, all these people who are working for the dark agenda right now, who have accumulated thousands or millions of pounds in their bank accounts, and who all believe that their future is safe and secure, they need to realise that none of them are safe. None of them. Because the banks have set the system up to raid their accounts whenever they want. And now, these rich people are put themselves in such a high wealthy state. The amount of money they've got is, it's just too tempting for these bankers. They'll just take their money when they're ready. You see, they'll allow them to continue as long as they're doing the work that they want doing. My guidance tells me this as well. And as I say, what I was told by Robbie is that I was spot on with what I said. Is that these rich people who are working for the dark agenda in exterminating 90% of the world's population. People that don't believe that need to go and read about the Georgia Guidestones, which is the new laws for the future. Now, interestingly enough, we have these Stonehenge, and we have these stones all over the planet. That's because they used to have inscriptions written on them as well, and they don't put these things up for no reason. The latest ones are made out of granite. They've been designed of granite, right, which is extremely hard material. They've been designed to last for thousands and thousands of years, because the objective is to get rid of 90% of humanity, and they want to make sure them Georgia Guidestones are still there when they start to repopulate the planet. And then they'll say, "Oh, God put those stones there. These are the new commandments from God. This is what the next agenda is." They're going to be lying to the next generation of people in the future and say, "These commandments came from God. You have to obey them." About keeping the population below a certain level. All the history is going to be rewritten. It'll all be completely rewritten, just like they've done so many times before. And all the people who are currently working on this dark agenda to depopulate the planet are just tools for the elites. They're just tools, and as soon as they've done the job, they're going to be ripped off. Their money's going to be taken. They're going to end up just like the rest of us, without any money, poverty-stricken, and exterminated in the end. So, all these rich people who really believe that they're going to be safe and sound need to wake up now, because they're just as vulnerable as the rest of us.
Right, that is so right on. Totally, I totally understand that. The fact that they, yeah, they're rewriting history the way that they want to do it, exactly, and that's what they've done. But see, we're going to be moved up in a higher frequency. The more that we keep up with our spirituality and moving into that higher energy source, uh, and it will be. I mean, that's their whole plan is. That's what they plan to do. But again, it's only for that negative. It's for the third world, really, if they go that far, if they move that far. Um, Not to say it's impossible. I mean, they've already done it, but I do believe in karma, that it will come back. It will always come back at them. But this is a major, oh God, here we go with a phone call again. Ugh, oh my gosh. Sorry about that. Yeah, same issue. That's what my mother called like all night last night, and I could not sleep, and I had a hard time. So I'm gonna totally turn my phones off tonight. I swear. My gosh. Yeah, she's kind of got a problem there. But anyway, so yeah, I totally believe, I totally understand that that's what's happening. But the cool thing is that we are moving into a Renaissance phase. It's like the Renaissance era where we're too smart now. We're becoming way smart, but there's a lot of them that just are not really there. But there's going to be a decision that is going to have to be made. The new Earth is coming. It's on its way. It's already here. It's vibrating at a higher frequency along with the other planets, and it's up to us if we're going to move along with it or we're going to go against it. So that's pretty much all I can say, what I believe anyway. I mean, like I said, going back in time and witnessing it from my own experience and going under, I've actually experienced when, the pole tilt, when the pole shift occurred with Lemuria and I went under in the water. The water came and washed me away, and that was it. That was the end of it. But you know what? It was the most peaceful way of going. I wasn't in really fear. It just had me, I left, and that was it. So we're also, see, that's what their agenda is going to be. That's what they plan on making it happen that way. But there is going to be another polar shift coming. And from what Sylvia Browne's Francine says, in the next anywhere from, I think it's 2020 to 2030 is when it's really going to hit. Like it's going to be, or a little bit, actually before then. No, no, no. Okay, when that book was written, it was 2005. So they said in the next like 20 years. So that's like any moment, like around the corner, probably within the next few years. So with that being said, they predicted in 2020, 2030 is that's when contact's going to come. First contact, global first contact, mind you. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I was listening. Yeah, it's coming soon, that's for sure. I was just panning around a bit, showing a bit of scenery while you were talking, but it looks so nice. It looks so pretty at night, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
um, but yeah, well, contact's got to happen soon, and you see, the problem is the faster, the closer we get to contact day, the faster these elites are panicking and rushing to try and well, stifle humanity, and that seems to be what's happening now. But you see, they're running out of time, and the fact that they know they're running out of time proves that contact day is close.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about, by the way. Robbie Craig, I know him. Yeah, he's in my Sovereign Warriors and Illuminating Minds. He's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a good guy.
yeah.
Poor
Oh,
thing.
I
Yeah,
actually,
he's going through a lot.
yeah, he was telling me, and yeah, he does know you. Oh, sorry, I've started the bells by accident.
Oh.
I'll turn it off now. Well, it's a shame more people didn't turn up, but never mind.
Oh well, I'm sure they'll show up. They'll watch the video. They'll watch the video, and I'm sure they'll be here for next time. But it would be great. It'd be great to have more people. We just got to keep doing it. Try to make it every week or every other week or something. It's good to have these discussions. Robbie Credit would have been great to have him on board.
Yeah, definitely. So I keep getting these little messages now and then saying streaming, internet's too slow. So it might cause some lag, but the video recordings, now I need to mention this, the video recordings will be saved and will be re-uploaded onto YouTube. So if you missed anything, or if anything didn't come through so well for you, don't panic, you can go and check it out on YouTube later on, and Joanna will put the links up on her website as well. I'll put them on my YouTube channel, but
Yeah, so we'll definitely share that all with you all, our discussion, and feel free for anyone else who wishes to discuss next time and come join us because I think this is, it's fun. I like the fact that we're here. It's seems very quiet and relaxing. Kind of gives people a different view. SL is a pretty awesome place. All right.
well, yeah, the great thing about Second Life is the fact that you can be thousands of miles apart in the real world, but in the Second Life world, we're literally a stone's throw from each other. I mean, literally, we can be with each other in our avatar form. I know it's not our real self, but you can customize your avatar however you want. You can change your appearance, your hair, your makeup, your clothes, everything about yourself, and you can even change literally you can make yourself fat and skinny and all sorts. And I've got a friend, I have a friend of mine, he's a werewolf, he's actually giant, he's must be 10 feet tall. I asked him actually if he'd pop in and say hi to us, but he hasn't been, so I don't know, he must be busy.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, definitely we can find a place where we can even do ritual stuff, I think that'd be awesome. Meditation, ritual. Um, I know I'd have to get like I don't know, like a place where there's like some kind of a ritual place, or you have to like buy land or something here. I don't know, I haven't really gotten into that. You need kind of money for all that stuff. But for now, we decided, yeah, we're just gonna chill out here on the magic mushroom, and then if we start seeing more people that are more interested in what we're doing, then we can expand it into, a really nice spiritual group, and do other spiritual things, and maybe do some psychic development. We can teach you how to become healers, or I can teach you how to become empathic and learn psychometry, things that I've learned, the tarot, or anything to get you in tapped in, turned on, and moving into a higher frequency or higher consciousness, you know uh, and being able to be sensitive, pick up on energies and things like that, start using your sixth sense, basically. And maybe, I mean, I think that would be very, very awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, I mean, actually, Second Life is designed for meetings. If you go to the main Second Life website and you read about it, it does actually say on there that Second Life is designed for hosting distance meetings between people in different parts of the world. It's part of it. It's not a game as such. People seem to think it's a game, but it's not really a game. It's an alternative to it's a way of participating with others, and I mean, you can literally shop things in Second Life. A lot of people actually sell things and make a living out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many different aspects to it. You can set up your own shop in Second Life, and you can do real spiritual readings. You can actually sell real goods and services as well, through the Second Life stores. There's a lot. I mean, I admit I've only got a free account because I don't have any money anyway. But
Awesome, but we'll figure something out. I mean, this is just kind of a beginning and getting to know each other and all that, and illuminating minds. And I think it'd be great for all of us members to get together as avatars and come together and talk. And this is a way to get to know each other. Not just through chatting and email and things like that. I mean, it just seems so impersonal or emotional. I think we get together and we start looking like different, avatars, we become even more a lot closer and communicate and give each other some support. I mean, heck, they even have a place where you can go dancing. They got DJ places. You can get your groove on. You can learn different languages. If you want to learn Spanish or whatever, you can learn different languages with people and just practice. There's so many things that you can do. I mean, when I first discovered this place, I went through Wiccan Seminary School, and they have an awesome castle. Oh my God, it's so freaking beautiful. And inside they have books. It's a library. It's just so beautiful. I mean, it's like that's what I want. I want a big castle, man. That'd be so awesome. And have meetings and you're sitting by the fire, and it just puts you in a different state of mind, from your day-to-day reality. And either way, I mean, who's to say what is real anyway? Nothing's really real. I mean, we're all here doing, we're all living a holographic universe anyway. So but anyway, I better get going. But I love to chat again, and just look forward to more. If more people are interested in what we're doing, then heck, let us know. Comment, leave us a comment.
yeah, people
What
can
did you say?
people can comment on the videos on the live stream. I'm sorry, but we don't have a live chat because apparently free users, and I'm a free user, don't have live chat availability. But we'll figure some way out where you can actually chat with us directly somewhere. Maybe you can just comment, or maybe we'll find some way of doing it. Maybe when Joanna gets some money and she's rich, we can buy a proper account.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting on too. Yeah, we're in the same boat as everyone though. We're on the same freaking boat. Same thing, we're supposed to be getting paid, and we've been waiting for that check for the past week. So we've been really, we I don't like to talk about, our personal stuff, but I, might as well. I mean, we've been struggling and just, living here in Mexico, just waiting for certain things to come in, and my husband's VA disability. I mean, he's only getting partial. He's still waiting for the rest of it, and as long as he goes to school, he gets paid. So that's good, but we're still waiting for a lot of other paying, and we're like, God, So we're not rich by any means, but living here in Mexico makes us feel a little bit, like somewhat well off. We're renting a house, 700 a month, and three-bedroom, beautiful, like hacienda-looking house for only 700 a month, and no utilities, and utility free. Our kids are going to private school, and but we're still living very humbly, and eating here in Mexico, and cooking like the Mexicans pretty much, or at a paleo way. So I mean, we're no long, I mean, heck, when he was in the Navy, we were living in San Diego, and we were paying $2,000 a month for just a shoebox of a house. Navy housing, 2 grand a month rent. I mean, we were throwing money away all the time. So now we brought it down to 700 a month. You could bring it down to 400 a month in Cancun if you wanted to. I'm just over the whole, waking up to the whole reality, waking up to the reality of that, when you buy a house, you don't really buy a house. You really don't own the house because you're still a tenant, as it states in the contract. You really don't own a car because really you have to register it. So therefore, that's a form of them, you're registering it to, I mean, you're not even the owner, even if you paid it off and have a title. You're still a tenant of your vehicle. So I when I found out all this information, I'm pretty much I have not given into the delusions anymore where I'm like, oh, I have to buy a house and I got to do this and I got to do that. Like I was, raised to believe, because I feel that we're eternal beings and our home is somewhere else. It's not really here. And I mean, if you think about it, look at the elite. Their belief is control everything, own nothing. So if they aren't really owning anything and they're just controlling it, obviously they're doing something, right, but they're getting us to believe that we have to buy things to be in that, that state of mind and ego, when really you don't own anything on this planet. I mean, we're all one. We're of this planet. Why should you have to own it? You don't have to put a tag on it and say, oh, this is mine. That you're already living in that reality. It's putting your mind in a separate consciousness of everyone else. Like, this is mine and that is yours. And then you learn that it's all pure materialism, because when you're on the other side, you don't feel like that. When you're on these other planets, you don't feel like that at all. You feel like nothing but love, and everyone's giving. You don't have to look over your shoulder if someone's going to take something from you. I mean, it's a heavy-duty planet to live on. So, I mean, if anything, I probably have a castle on the other side somewhere. That's all I care about now. I mean, it's going to go anyway. You have a house, it might get hit by an earthquake, it might get washed off, from a flood, or heck, you might end up falling in a sinkhole. So watch out when you say, this is mine, because you never know what's going to happen. All right, you guys, well, I got to go. And those of you who are interested in a reading, if you're interested in a psychic empathic reading or spiritual medium reading, if you want to possibly communicate with someone dear to you, I can also do that as well. I can tap into their energies and see if there's anybody there, any type of information coming through for you to help you on your way. I can do that as well. You can always go to JoannaPsychicAdvisor.com. And again, I'm here to serve. I'm here to help and guide. That is all. And anything else you'd like to say, Shelley?
No, that's it. It's been great. Yeah, let's hope it all came out great, and I think it did anyway.
Yeah,
Our viewers have dropped down to 2 though now. Oh.
Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, they're probably passing out. Just kidding.
Well, we must have been going for 2 hours or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of people are saying, oh, don't worry, I can't be here to watch it, but I'll come back, and and you're going to get a lot of views on the videos. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it'd be fine. Okay, Joanna, it's been great, and let's do it again and see how and hopefully.
We shall. And maybe next time I'll do some readings for those, free readings. Only one question though, okay? Only one question. Okay, good night.
Good night.